to the Government News Brief. It is Wednesday, January 4, 2017. In the news, the Ministry of Public Infrastructure completes 85% of its 2016 work program. Heavy rainfall takes a toll on some areas, even with improved drainage capacity, and major rehabilitation will be undertaken on several stellines and vessels. Stay tuned for these and other stories. Thank you for staying with us. I am Renetta LaFleur. Here are the details. The Ministry of Public Infrastructure was able to complete 85% of its 2016 work program, according to Subject Minister David Paterson. Details in this Neil Williams report.
2016, in my opinion, was a good year for the ministry. It was not the best, nor was it the worst. We achieved about 80% of our mandate of what we set out to do, 80 to 85% what we set out to do in 2016. And all of you who can still remember your school days, 85% is not a bad mark, but obviously we like to get to a higher grade, more into the 90s.
Minister of Public Infrastructure David Paterson says the ministry's locally funded programs performed better than those financed by international donors.
Major internationally funded programs were unable to start, and I refer specifically to the GPL Lot A, which you know, the East Coast Demerara extension, the Ogle Bypass, as well as the East Bank Berbice Road.
Minister Paterson explains that these setbacks were due to circumstances not within the ministry's control.
We were able to assess where our weak areas are. As I said, we were not perfect. We were able to assess it, and we were able to make targeted interventions to address these issues. Nevertheless, challenges remain in the sector.
Among the ministry's agenda for 2017 is addressing the challenges and prioritizing the commencement of those major road projects. Focus will also be on the East Coast Demerara Road extension, the Ogle Bypass, the East Bank Berbice Road, and the bypass at Diamond. The Cheddi Jagan International Airport will also be seeking to open a Cambio service and a car rental. I am Zenil Williams for the Government News Brief.
The current heavy rainfall being experienced has affected some more than others. The head of Georgetown Chamber of Commerce shared his views on the current drainage in light of the inclement weather. More in this report.
The current spell of inclement weather has put the drainage system to the test. Businesses in many of the main shopping areas have been affected by flooding in spite of much improved drainage, with some losing money and stock. Gina spoke with the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industries President Vishnu Durga for some feedback on how the current weather and drainage conditions were affecting business owners.
I must say that in Guyana we are extremely resilient, looking at people taking all types of measures, from the long boots to just walking in the rain, which can also be extremely dangerous, to still visit our businesses. So we would thank those loyal consumers, be it out of need, be it out of loyalty, to still support our businesses during this time. What we have seen is a reduction in the time it takes to drain the city after such prolonged rainfall, so that is a step in the right direction.
The GCCI president says that he's looking forward to the plan being formulated to realize even better drainage in the city. Residents, he notes, must understand that they too have a part to play to ensure that proper drainage is maintained.
We don't have construction material encumbering the parapets, encumbering the free flow of water. As best as possible, keep the areas in your neighborhood, at least for your own property, as clean as possible, because that's just a little bit that you can do, in addition to ensuring that no garbage is being thrown in these drains. This is the little bit that you can do to ensure that drainage does become more efficient.
He compared the reports from members of the business community about flood losses thus far as being similar to those in 2015.
2015, by no stretch of the imagination, was a fantastic year. We've been seeing a decline especially when it comes to the commercial side, for quite a few years now. But the few reports that we've been getting is that it was on par as last year. Some businesses which were really heavily affected by the rain, of course, may not have been able to push off the amount of stock that they had intended. But again, it's unforeseen, but we do know by now that every Christmas season we're affected by rain as well, so we as a private sector will also need to start figuring out more strategies in order to deal with this phenomenon.
Several communities have also been affected, especially those in more low-lying areas. Alboiston is one such, which, due to its unique location and drainage capability, is often hard hit during periods of heavy rainfall. Several residents shared their thoughts on the state of the community's drainage.
I still got the water going, but still we gotta get a little more progress with the drain.
With the drain?
Yeah, because when you try to clean, people throw. We around here, these neighbors and me, and so we try to clean the alley. But it don't make no sense by the time you wake up morning, a whole set of rubbish gone back again.
A special bulletin from the Ministry of Public Infrastructure has noted that the Hydrometeorological Service will forecast for the next 4 days severe inclement weather. All regions, the bulletin says, are likely to experience cloudy to overcast skies. 24 hours accumulated rainfall amounts are expected to be between 40 millimeters to 80 millimeters on Wednesday. On Friday, and in excess of 100 millimeters is likely to occur on Thursday. The highest amount of rainfall is expected to occur over regions 2 to 5. Paul McCallum for the Government News Brief.
Major rehabilitation will be undertaken in 2017 on several stellings and vessels to improve the level of service provided to citizens. Delicia Haynes has the details.
General Manager, Transport and Harbors Department Marceline Merchant says a total of $534 million was allotted in the 2017 budget. Of this amount, $240 million will be used in vessels and $294.2 million on stellings. She adds that $20 million was allotted to construct 2 water taxis.
We have docking of the MV Sandaco, that's docking and sourcing of propulsion system for the MV Sandaco, docking of the Malali and docking of the MV Lady North Port.
Merchant explains the driveway of the Supernam stelling will be extended to permit easier passage of long trucks. She says this will complement the rehabilitation works that were executed in 2016.
On the stellings, we plan to address the Supernam stelling, that is placing asphalt on the entire driveway and extending the turn on the Supernam stelling, as the long trucks are having difficulty when they're making that turn there.
Works will also be carried out on the Morowana, New Amsterdam and Rosignol stellings to the tune of $30 million. Meanwhile, the long-awaited rehabilitative works done on the dilapidated Mazaruni dockyard will commence in 2017. The general manager says the entire docking facility and workshop would be rehabilitated at a cost of approximately $50 million. For the Government News Brief, I am Delicia Haynes.
Selected persons, especially from indigenous communities, will benefit from training in key areas under the Small Business Bureau through the Guyana Red and Investment Fund. More from Gabriela Patram.
The project targets persons operating small and micro businesses. They will be selected from all 10 administrative regions. The main purpose of the project is to assist the government in its green economy drive, thereby reducing carbon emission and deforestation. Finance Officer of the Small Business Bureau, Simon Pollard, says that small and micro businesses operating in the carbon sector will be given priority.
The project has 3 components. One, it has access to finance, and 2, it has business development training. Hence, this part of the project we are embarking on or further strengthening, because we would have done some training in 2016, but in 2017, while we will be focusing on other areas in training, we will pay a lot of attention to these 5 areas: the mining sector, the forestry sector, hospitality, soap manufacturing, as well as screen manufacturing.
Pollard says the Bureau is asking for specialists to conduct the training so that the trainees will have a clear understanding as to how to produce items and contribute to the country's economy. The finance officer, in explaining the selection process for the training, points out that persons must have an established business.
We will also go through our database. We will look at the needs assessments of our clients in relation to these 5 areas, and we're going to select persons from there.
Okay. And in terms of selecting, do they have to meet a certain criteria?
Yes, they have to meet a certain criteria. First of all, they have to be a client of the Small Business Bureau. That is the first and foremost criteria. And they have to give some kind of indication that they want to be trained to see their business grow and improve.
The training will last for 5 months, following which the participants will receive a certificate. For the Government News Brief, I'm Gabriela Batram.
The University of Guyana's Turkine campus sporting capacity is set to be upgraded in 2017, along with several grounds countrywide. More from Isaiah Braffett.
One of the major concerns for the Ministry of Education Department of Sport is the development of sporting facilities at the University of Guyana. Project Director, Growing Enhancement Project, Randolph Critchlow, says that soon there will be discussions with the administration on the way forward.
Development of that facility at the University of Guyana campus is a major concern. We want to engage the administration of the University of Guyana moving forward and ensuring that that sporting facility is brought to a place where we can feel proud of our university sports facility, right? So that is a concern of ours, and that is something that we want to look to deal with in 2017.
In addition to the upgrading the facilities at UG, Critchlow says that 25 grounds will be enhanced countrywide in 2017.
We want to invest heavily into those communities that were not given any assistance in the last 3 years. Right. Part of the criteria, of course, is that if we did South Granville Park this year, I don't think it would be fair for us to come and do a ground right next to the one that we did last year. So that is part of it. We want to spread out the resources as much as possible. So we're looking to do at least 2 grounds and really develop it, get it to a really good standard, including lights for region. 2 grounds for region.
For the year 2016, under the Ground Enhancement Project, more than 50 grounds were completed countrywide. This includes leveling and installation of lights and pavilions for spectators. Isaiah Braffett for the Government News Brief.
With that, we have come to the end of today's edition of the Government News Brief. The Government News Brief, along with all other GINA programs, can be found on our website. We're also on Facebook and YouTube. On behalf of all of us here at GINA, I am Renetta LaFleur. Thank you for watching.